Now I would like to make the statement, the same one about the rejections, but about persons that I actually went out with. I did not have any sexual relationship with those persons in physical form because in mind I did not want these persons, or I was not in love. I liked these persons for sure. However, that was not that person was because of a prior mind ideation or relationship that person was had or I we had chance. We just didn't have chance because it was blocked most of the time. That it seems to me that it was blocked by structures of corporations that are modeled as if locked up uterus, and us being stuck in it to provide for one or two persons, that person to geese in that money, childless, and have a zero chance to divorce or to marry somebody else or to stay with that person or to do whatever it is that it takes to stay healthy. So that is actually not that I am against having lots of money. I want to have lots of money. However, that also is that each time I have something, people are ready to kill me for a t-shirt, for an income, or for the job title or money. And that is because those persons mistake it with promoting self to pursue romantically. And that is insane. That the work is about survival of all of persons, each of us. Providing work is because we don't have sex. And whatever it is that we are doing is despite all of those tensions and relationships, not because of. And there is no doubt if somebody is trying to seduce someone that it disturbs, things are dropping or whatever it is that. So that is at work better to use titles, and the same to keep, like some persons in Arizona, strangemanship. So I can start. There was a man in Arizona in a bar, elder person, I mean, normal age, but in community, that's what I refer to. A person who is longly known in community is referred to as elder. It can be a young person. That person is was came with a son and was very polite, and there was a moment in which the two of them invited me to interact with them, and I refused. I in no way was again harboring any anger towards them and or resentment, nor there was anything wrong with their physicality, because rejections are not about it. It's just that I am not romantically interested in him or in his son. I want to state that from now on, for the future, I know that for sure that I will never be such, and that was not the reason for the rejection. Because I love having friends. I also do not like when this is insinuated, because it is so tiresome afterwards to not have work, to have persons, when I rent a place, say, why don't you go and live with the gentleman? The name calling, the insinuations that that person and I have an affair if he's married, that I just, when the person comes over to just even have a conversation, I don't want to do that because I am already looking at this the whole rumor things, exhausted mentally, to face whatever it is that will come after. So just for the start, that person and I, we never had any sort of sexual intentions between us. There was nothing like that, nor with the son, the two of us. We just sat next to each other in a bar, and that means also that because I never dreamt about that person or that son, I didn't fall in love. I don't desire them, and vice versa, because those things will need to take two, right? No one wants to be disappointed by being less loved. We love being loved, and that is the idea of reciprocity in a relationship and sexual activity at all, and having children. And so that is why I can for sure say that how I am, and with the time that has passed, these persons nor I am interested in romantic relationship and never will be, for sure. So that person is free to do whatever that person is doing without waiting for me to provide anything in personal matter, and also that person is not obliged to provide for me unless in a competitive way on a market what I am providing is of value, or that person in personal interest wants to be, for instance, I don't know, neighbors or friends, same as his son and all the others. Relationship status is not the most important. What is most important is that we strive to not to pursue relationships because we are exhausted and run down. So whoever it is that is second or ex best, we go after because we don't have any other choice. and then relief of pain is the standard. That's not a standard of relationship. I'm not saying that a person who has empathy met in those conditions is not valuable as experience. It is a fantastic experience to know that a person has such reflexes. That, for instance, if I knew I would never marry, in the wildest dreams, I would not marry a person who would want to off me or help someone who is trying to harm me. But that is not something that one knows, right? One feels at the beginning that being with parents, a person is nice or adoring, and that is not then long term something that is tested in person as an instinct to save life. So I had that instinct, but then again, I'm a doctor, so that is something that I also was trained to do, to live on an instinct, also in extreme survival camps, less extreme than mine, but still quite extreme, and things like that. And so that is not necessarily for me to now advise, but what I'm saying is those are my standards, and the standards are generalizable. This is my work, but I do like to be paid, and I don't know how to explain again mental issues or accusations of such to delegate to somebody else and speculate are always false, because loving someone is a dynamic way, and there are memory markers that eliminate 100% making from persons punching bags, like persons from childhood, because that's comparable to stoning of Mary Magdalene's, the persons who actually went and harassed or grabbed, and then persons in comparison who loved and were never given a chance, pushing that person who actually never pursued, that did harm or allowed others to come over, as because there was something that person wanted to rape, for instance, is quite of a ridicule. And that is what is not racist, but protecting persons who are on the United States territory. And that is what that police also is about, and military, not about enraging a person who nobody wants by harassing and placing rumors. Oh, she wants that person, let's not give her money until he actually gives her something, or let's make sure that they come all because they are from the same country. I don't miss anyone from my country. I've been here for 10 years. Before that I was for 7 or 8 years in Mexico. I'm 38. So get real, I'm not a child.